Fala galera, beleza com vocês? Voltamos com mais um capítulo de Sybéria. E o que aconteceu, né, que a gente, no capítulo anterior, né, a gente consertou aqui o fogão, serviu os clientes, tocamos piano, aí veio aquele cara afogado falar com a gente, aí deu toda aquela treta lá, né. E... ah, ela tá tocando também.
Oh, Lenny, why don't you leave the piano to those who actually know how to play it, huh?
Então deu todo aquele rolo lá, né? Aí o cara veio nos ajudar, interviu por nós, né? Vamos ver.
What a fiasco.
Aí eles saíram lá fora, né?
Don't you have some dolls to dress or something?
Mulher chata.
Go up to your room, Lenny.
Descubra uma maneira de espionar Lana. Ok. Provavelmente é subir no quarto, né? Que não é por aqui.
So, that's the painting Dana thinks father should buy from Leon.
Nice
Nice
choice.
choice.
Vamos lá. Provavelmente subir pro quarto deve ser aqui. É. Queria agradecer a presença de todos aí. Sempre estando no vídeo aí, deixando um comentário, like. Obrigado aí, galera. Valeu. Quem é esse? Fazei todas as vossas obras com amor. Suspiro sonhador. Ler. Ah tá, vou ler tudo isso não, né, galera?
Honestly, Junta is not that good. I'm sure I could do better if only I could practice a bit. I'm so glad I started this collection of photos. When I grow up, I'll travel all around the world and photograph everywhere I go. When I'm old, the wall will be covered with them.
Alright. Vamos ver aqui, inspecionar.
You all right? Yeah, I thought so.
It's just that if I had retaliated, I would have lost my job, you know? Believe me, I came this close to not being able to pay for my studies at the academy after the holidays.
Forget it. He was blind drunk. Won't even remember it come tomorrow. Old Gustav could see it wasn't your fault. Besides, you didn't see him after your performance. Ecstatic he was.
There are more and more people like that brute. They don't even bother to hide their hatred anymore. It's like they've been given a mission, or perhaps I should say permission, to abuse people like me, as if Vagarans had suddenly become the scourge of society. And we're powerless to act because if we did, we'd lose our home. My parents, they've become a bundle of nerves. They can't sleep at night. Only last week, our shop window got smashed again, and our neighbors, they couldn't care less, and neither could the authorities. I'm sorry. I've upset you, haven't I?
You've put my own suspicions into words, Fraulein. Because what you say about the Brown Shadow is true, and that's what worries me. I used to think they were just a bunch of cranks in their ridiculous uniforms. But now I can see these lunatics really are serious. Deadly serious.
But you did know who was behind the Origin expedition.
Never gave it much thought, to be honest. Only met Huss and the scientists today. For me, they were no different from any other group I've trained. If I'd have known that, I'd have had second thoughts. Actually, do you know what?
What?
I'm going to stop training them.
Can you do that?
It's still a free country, right? So after a few weeks' notice, I'll be off the hook. At least, I get to spend the summer here with you. Painting.
Painting.
But I don't paint.
No, you play. I paint. It's my passion. And you can be my muse.
Is that what you say to all the girls?
No. Never.
Hello, you two lovebirds.
Eita.
Everyone's going to bed, so you better come back inside or you'll catch cold, or worse.
And that's how Dana pipped everyone at the post. It only took one look for Leon to fall head over heels in love with her. And it didn't take much for Dana to fall for him. Love at first sight, you might say.
Legal.
The whole band stayed at the chalet all summer long. Then, I suppose, everyone went their own sweet way.
Did you ever see any of them again?
Oh, no.
What about Dana and Leon?
They too went their own ways, I guess. And that, Fräulein Walker, is all there is to it.
Eles passaram a noite toda conversando, elas. A Dana deixou algo para trás.
Do you know if she's still alive?
Can't be sure, but I doubt it. It was a lifetime ago, Fräulein Walker.
Where do you think she might be if she were?
No idea. Things went from bad to worse after that summer. Not to mention half the town was razed during the war.
Did Dana leave anything here? Any documents or anything that might help me find where she went?
Not that I know of. But I suppose there might be in Father's old coffer. Must still be in the loft. Junta bought it from him that summer, so she could use it to store her precious filming gear. She was supposed to come back for it, but she never did. If there is anything that can help you, it will be in there. So feel free to look around the refuge by yourself if you like, even though I don't think anyone managed to open the coffer
Eita.
since Junta left.
Já vê que
Thank
vai
you,
ter
Mademoiselle
algum
Lenny.
puzzle
Thank
pelo
you so
jeito, né?
much.
Se ninguém conseguiu abrir.
What now, Fräulein? I was just about to doze off.
I'll be going then.
A mulher dorme rápido.
Maintaining the refuge must be a huge job. As tough as Lenny is, I hope she has some help when she needs it.
O que a gente precisa fazer? Descubra informações sobre a região e sua história antes de abrir o cofre. Ou o baú. Vamos ver se tem alguma coisa aqui pro fundo. Ah, tem. O que será que tem aqui?
The authorities have closed the path due to excavation works on the other side of the mountain. Suits me. I wasn't exactly planning on climbing a mountain today anyway. That must lead to the other side of the circus.
Acho que é só isso. Pode ser que em algum momento a gente precise vir aqui, né? Já tá à toa ali, né? Vamos entrar na cabana então. Nossa, tá bem parecida, né? Mesma coisa. Não mudou muita coisa, não. Bem, provavelmente o pai dela já deve ter falecido, né? Porque se a filha já tá bem velha, imagina a mãe.
That must be the piano Dana played on the night she met Leon. The night Lenny told me about.
Ela sobe aqui? Não, não sobe. Cara, esse ângulo da vista aqui é bem diferente.
Lenny's father must have made this stair lift to help her get up and down the stairs. Must have taken him many hours. It's touching when you think about it.
Eita, quer dar uns enganchos.
A mechanical stove. Seen better days. Another object with the look of the Vorarlberg workshop.
É, o fogão tá bem diferente, hein? Bem velhão. Quem é esse aí?
Ah, I see I'm not the only one stuck here. Bah, pull up a seat and together we can moan about being stuck here.
Thank you, but I have things to do.
I hope you can stay until this evening at least. In London they have the changing of the guard. Here we get the changing of the colors. I guarantee it's worth the wait. English?
American, actually.
Oh, seeing as you've come so far, then. Besides, it's always nicer to be stranded in good company. From Belgium, myself, on a world climbing tour.
Stranded?
Didn't you know? They've closed the Teufelskragen. That's the path they call the Devil's Pass.
So that's what all the fuss is about.
All down to climate change.
You mean the thaw, right?
Made the path too dangerous to climb and apparently resulted in a morbid discovery.
Que inglês estranho.
Oh?
Bodies of resistance fighters killed while leading refugees to Switzerland. Frozen solid.
Resistance fighters? You mean frozen since the Second World War?
But that's what the paper says.
Is that what the tent's for?
It's a temporary chapel of rest that the rescue team made while waiting for the bodies to be airlifted out.
I see. I guess there's no reason to disrespect the departed, even after all these years.
I only hope all this sudden interest from excavationists puts an end to the stupid rumors that a strange creature haunts the Silberspiegel. Otherwise, you can be sure, as soon as the old lady pops her clogs, this place will become run over by those infernal tourists.
O pé grande. A passagem da morte.
Can you tell me about this Devil's Pass?
Oh, it's on the far side of the cirque, looking out from the terrace. As you can imagine, it's called Devil's Pass because it's extremely dangerous. Most of all because of the risk of avalanche. Only seasoned alpinists can negotiate it, really. As a professional alpinist myself, what I love about it is knowing I'm climbing in the tracks of courageous climbers of bygone times. There's a real sense of history about it. For example, resistance fighters used it during the war to smuggle vagrants and other victims of the Brown Shadow into Switzerland.
Ô louco, informação boa.
Is that the path they've closed that leads from the refuge?
That's right.
Thought so. I saw the notice.
They've blocked it off so the helicopter can airlift the frozen bodies from the bottom of the pass. Meantime, they have set up a temporary chapel of rest, as you can see.
Well, that's moving. It's important to show respect, even after all these years.
E essa criatura?
I've had some experience with fantastic fauna myself. But what do you make of the so-called strange creature that roams the mountain?
Just another local fairy tale to pull in the tourists, if you ask me. They say it lives in prehistoric caves. And that it's responsible for people
Eu lembro
going
do
missing.
abominável Homem das Neves.
Some even say
que
that the mysterious
o
cries you
Chapolin.
can hear on some nights are the creature calling for a mate. In other words, the usual twaddle you normally get in remote or uncharted places like the high mountain or the deep sea. Twaddle passed down from generation to generation through sheer ignorance.
Surely, from what I read on the way here, the cries could come from an animal native to the area, couldn't they?
That is my thinking exactly. No doubt a bear with something caught in his throat. It happens, you know. Probably scared a tourist one evening, or... maybe it was young pranksters.
Os corpos congelados.
What about those frozen bodies they discovered at the foot of Devil's Pass?
Well, due to climate change, the snow line has receded, revealing the bodies trapped in the ice since the Second World War. Most probably resistance fighters and exiles, trying to flee the fascist occupiers and reach Switzerland by the pass. I imagine they got caught in an avalanche. Poor wretches have been imprisoned ever since. Until today. That is why the authorities have blocked access to the pass, so they can take the bodies out, identify them, and give them a proper burial.
Right. Thanks for cluing me in. Anyway, I better get back to what I was doing.
You are welcome, Fräulein.
All right. Precisa achar o baú, que deve estar lá no quarto dela, né? Lá em cima.
Reminds me of Hans's automatons in Valladolid.
Descobrir informações da região. Será que a gente sobe a escada? É bem provável, né? É. Não tem nada aqui mais embaixo.
An old
Chico.
book? The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann? Funny. My grandparents left me a copy before they died when I was a kid. I should get around to reading it someday.
Nada demais. Tem alguma coisa aqui. Ah, tá, legal.
This must be Lenny's room. Not sure I'm allowed in here, really. Keep your servant also from willful sins. May they not rule over me. Then I will be blameless, innocent of great transgression. Sweet. Photos of the refuge. Looks like they're arranged by time period. There are no photos of the occupation of Vaughan by the Brown Shadow. I guess that corresponds to when Lenny and her father had to leave the refuge. These date from before the war. There's even one from the summer when Dana worked at the refuge.
Legal. Ela, então Então parece que ela conseguiu mesmo encher aqui de foto como ela queria, né? Vamos ver aqui. Parece que é o Japão.
This series ends at 2002, 3 years ago, when I began my journey with Oscar and Hans's train. All these photos go up to the 80s, including my date of birth.
Legal. Não tem mais nada aqui.
That's pretty impressive. Obviously helps Lenny get up and about.
Da
She's
janela.
still sitting there, watching. Wonder what she's thinking about.
Sai. O quarto dela não tem nada.
Austere. Looks, it's cold in here. Another of those cigar butts. So that's the painting Dana told Lenny's father to buy. Not bad. And similar in style to my painting. Wonder what the others were like. There. But who could have left it open?
Tem nada aqui. Acho que vai ter que subir lá em cima mesmo. Vamos ver se tem mais alguma coisa aqui no fundo. Tô escutando umas portas abrindo, fechando. Uma loucura. Eu acho que aqui já foi, galera. Bem provável que não tenha mais nada aqui. É outro livro?
An old
Ah, não.
book? The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann? Funny. My grandparents left me a copy before they died when I was a kid. I should get around to reading it. Take-up reel. Like the ones used on old cinema projectors.
Legal. Será que é só isso?
Take-up reel. Like the ones used on old cinema projectors.
Tá, ela guardou. Agora pra que eu não sei. Tem uma caixa aqui. Procurar. Olhar.
I must remember
Lenny
to ask
Rayner.
Lenny about it.
Ler. A respeito da sua carta de 31 de agosto, informamos que seria uma honra para as indústrias Voranberg ajudar sua filha Lena após a tragédia que resultou em sua incapacitação, tanto meu pai como meu irmão Hans compartilham da minha mesma admiração pela coragem altruísta dela nesses anos tão complicados para o velho continente europeu. Ok.
Don't want to break my neck, thank you very much.
Bem, o baú tá aqui, né? Ainda falta coisas pra gente descobrir informações sobre a região, mas pelo jeito não vamos conseguir. Vamos direto no baú lá. Não ficar procurando muita coisa não, que senão a gameplay fica enorme. Essa caixa aqui a gente já veio? Já.
This must be Yunta's coffer, the one Lenny spoke about.
Sabe a ordem, né? A foto aqui também não ajuda muito. Beleza. Virou aqui em cima. Tô louco. Cara, tem 3 códigos. Ah, show! Legal.
Amazing. Now it shows the view from the terrace.
Descubra as informações. Encontre os códigos no baú. Opa! Galera, eu fui chutando aqui e acertei os códigos. Caraca, tanto de coisa.
I'll need a key to open it.
Cara, eu não tenho a chave ainda. Ok, vamos ver o que nós temos aqui ainda. Só dá pra ver dentro do baú mesmo. Que é isso?
A film
Observar.
developing company. They probably developed Yunta's films and sent them back once they were done. No doubt Yunta must have written this. Summer 1937. The year Dana worked here. Let's see. I filled my last diary last night. Ordered another one, but still waiting for supplies to be delivered to the refuge. Using an old envelope in the meantime. Today invited Dana for a chat after her shift.
Ah, ok. Voltamos para 1937.
I'd like to know what Leon sees in her. I've never seen him so smitten. Thanks for
Arrebatado.
popping up, Dana. How did the shift go?
Fine, same as usual.
Just finishing up here, then I'll make us a nice cup of tea.
Wow, that looks futuristic. What is it?
Ah, that little baby is my viewer. That's why it goes in the coffer.
What does it do?
I use it to put together and edit the rushes.
The what?
Rushes. In other words, the strips of unedited footage. I've finished today's selection, so be a dear and put it in the coffer, would you?
I would if I knew how.
Oh, just turn the key in the lock.
Graças a um documento encontrado por Kate em 2005, você pode reviver os eventos do passado descrito pelo registro. Use as informações obtidas por Dana no passado para avançar com Kate. Pressione LB para trocar entre Kate e Dana. Ok.
Take the key in the coffer, Dana, my sweet.
The key Yunta asked me to hide.
Caraca.
Dana, be a darling and put the key somewhere safe. You can't be too careful with these mountain people, especially with that little Lenny sniffing around my equipment all the time.
Eu peguei ela no flagra. Não denunciar. Não vou denunciar.
Where do you normally put it?
I have a little hiding place over there.
Ah, ela vai guardar aqui.
Is this where you want me to put the key?
Yes, there's a dear.
It's a handy hiding place. Who made it?
Oh, Herr Gustav. He knows only too well that some customers have their little secrets, you know. Just need to finish preparing for the filming tomorrow, then we can chat away to our heart's content. If you could just fetch me a new roll of film from the darkroom, then we're done.
Ah, ok. Então ela guardou a chave aqui. Não, aqui não. Foi por aqui. Ah, é aqui. Inspecionar.
Impossible.
Get away!
Ah, tem um ratão aqui, velho. Pegar. Beleza.
Yunta's coffer key.
Ok, vamos agora então usar a chave. Inspecionar. O negócio deu uma bugadinha ali, né? Mas tudo bem.
Where can I find the combination for the mechanism?
Então acho que eu tenho que trocar.
That's a lot of equipment you have there. If you don't mind my asking, how do you manage to pay for it all?
Oh, that's easy. Especially when you know a few generous patrons of the arts, dear.
fotos, estamos aqui.
I love your photos.
Ah, well, they each represent an element of mountain wildlife and flora I've photographed recently. I use them as a sort of checklist.
A checklist, huh?
Será que isso aqui tem a ver? Vamos ver. Uma casa. Um rapel. Um rio. Vamos ver. Ah, tá. Pode ser isso aqui então, hein? Um bode, uma flor, montanha e árvore. Vamos ver. Bode, uma flor, uma montanha e a árvore. Ah, legal.
No, I don't think so.
Beleza. Ah, que show. Como se fosse um refletor, né? Será que a gente abaixa isso aqui? Ah, tá. É, um refletor mesmo. Ah, legal. É, os vídeos antigamente não tinha áudio, né? Era sem som. Bacana. É já a expedição deles, né? No fim, o cara lá aceitou treinar, né? Os alpinistas. Ou cientistas, sei lá. Olha o cara chatão. O cara tá se matando aqui, velho. Eita. Ô, louco. Ô, louco. O cara nem saiu do chão. Ah, acho que é o momento que o cara pinta ela, faz o retrato dela. Legal. Legal que ela tá vendo a Dana pela primeira vez, assim, né? Em vídeo, né? Ela só tinha aquele retrato.
Interesting footage. Let's see what's on the other reel. I should rewind and remove the first reel before putting this one on.
Então, vamos tirar. Galera, essa gameplay vai ficar um pouco mais comprida, mas eu acho que é bom pra fechar o capítulo, né? Filmar. Acho que é os rolos de filme, né? Ok. Filmar. Máquina fotográfica das antigonas. Eu acho que é a Dana que deve estar filmando. Dana Rose. Trancado. Bem, tomara que a gente não precise fazer aquele puzzle todo, né? Vamos entrar aqui. Use o analógico esquerdo para se mover. Ah, tá. Filmando toda a casa, toda a parte de cima. Parece bem Resident Evil. Filmando. Ah, tá, é a menina, né? A Dana não. É a filha do dono aí do local. E estavam discutindo. Relacionamento não anda indo muito bem.
Lenny didn't say she filmed a fight between Dana and Leon. I'd better go back and see her to find out about it.
Bem, galera, aproveitando, deixa aqui, vou ficar com essa gameplay por aqui. Espero que vocês tenham curtido. Fica com Deus, um grande abraço, valeu, fui!